The key to Bitcoin jungle is there's an on and off ramp that's smoother than anywhere in the world, I believe. At least I haven't been to El Salvador, and I don't know how their on and off ramps are, but 90% of the country, is the stat I've heard here, has this thing called SynPay, and that's basically like Venmo for the States. So it's a phone number connected to their bank account. So now, as a Bitcoiner, I could come in here, sell my Bitcoin directly to their SynPay. So just basically anywhere now is accepting Bitcoin.
Most of the places that you go to in Costa Rica, they have this Bitcoin symbol, Bitcoin logo, and you are able to pay for by Bitcoin for your grocery, for the fruits, for the haircut you get. And every one of us know that El Salvador is the Bitcoin legal tender. Argentina is becoming one, but Costa Rica was not on my map, and it was really a pleasant surprise to me to see that you would go to different places and pay by Bitcoin. What's the government's stance, the Costa Rican government's stance on Bitcoin, or maybe even crypto in general? And how is it that it is such a kind of Bitcoin friendly area, or maybe it is just specific to Bitcoin jungle? And also, I would like to, as a kind of second part of this question, hear more about Bitcoin jungle.
So let's start with, it's not everywhere in Costa Rica. It's mostly specific to Bitcoin jungle, which is Uvita, Dominical area. And then in terms of the laws, this is how I understand it, that anything could be accepted as currency. So Bitcoin. And then for the people, we've already been, or not we, like locals have already been balancing USD and colones already in their head. So colones is the local fiat. So it's like, all right, let's just throw a third in there. And this one actually might go up. So most of them would be saving in dollars already. And now they're going to be, now there's like this Bitcoin thing. It's like, okay, well, great. Maybe that'll go up. I'll save some in that too. And the key to Bitcoin jungle is there's an on and off ramp that's smoother than anywhere in the world, I believe. At least I haven't been to El Salvador, and I don't know how their on and off ramps are, but 90% of the country, is the stat I've heard here, has this thing called SynPay, and that's basically like Venmo for the States. So it's a phone number connected to their bank account. So now, as a Bitcoiner, I could come in here, sell my Bitcoin directly to their SynPay. So just basically anywhere now is accepting Bitcoin, más o menos. But of course, in Bitcoin jungle, they all accept. There are many, many, many places actually accept Bitcoin, and it's like I haven't seen anywhere else in the world like that yet. Maybe Madeira. El Salvador doesn't really feel like that. And the cool thing, the little key difference too, is that this has been completely grassroots instead of top down.
Yeah. That's amazing.
I know El Salvador's probably a little bit scarred from the Chivo wallet, which didn't go very well.
Exactly. Yes.
Maybe they weren't as ready. And then Costa Rica had the SynPay thing already. And before that, it was just Lee, who founded it, going to the market and physically cashing out everybody that didn't want the Bitcoin. Hilarious. And then Francis comes in from Bull Bitcoin, and he figures out this SynPay thing. And it's been, ever since then, it's spreading like wildfire. And of course, now the stories are locally getting out there that like, hey, there's this Bitcoin thing, you could buy like this, and it's not just us going around shilling it or anything. It's like happening organically, and it's beautiful to see.
Yeah, it's really beautiful that it is exactly as you described it. It's more of a grassroots movement, the Bitcoin movement. It didn't become the legal tender there. Nobody heard about it on the news that Bitcoin is a big thing here. And it was really news to me when I saw you're paying everywhere with Bitcoin. That was fascinating. And there are heavens in the world that we do not know about. So I am getting more and more convinced to maybe move to even Costa Rica, though it's not probably the most well-known country when you are talking about Bitcoin friendly, but it in fact is. It just didn't have good marketing probably, or enough marketing. So it was to people who were able to accept every currency, and they said, okay, let's accept Bitcoin. I'm curious to know, how's the inflation going on there? Is it so bad, like, for example, in Venezuela or Argentina, as it was before?
That's actually the funny thing. So wait for that truck to go by.
Okay.
the Costa Rican colone is like one of the most powerful currencies in the world right now. Like it took forever for it to hit the all-time high in colones. The dollar to colone, like the dollar's worth way less colones than it used to be when I first got here.
Wow.
But they
Maybe
do
because
have.
they are aware of their competitor, which is Bitcoin, so they keep
Maybe.
themselves in check. Maybe.
I have no idea with everything going on, but Costa Rica is a very like. There's a lot of people that move here, a lot of expats, and there's a lot of tourism. Is a huge industry, and it's thriving here. But yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, and how is the state of taxes there? Because I live in Poland,
Hmm.
and look at my skin color, not very Polish friendly.
Yeah, looking like
uh,
pretty tan. Let's go.
yeah, and we don't get much sun here, so
Hmm.
I really miss the sun. I've been thinking of moving to some other countries, and of course, Bitcoin is a very important thing to me, and something very not with respect to sun, but with respect to Bitcoin, that has become very convincing to me is Czech Republic, which is just next door. But well, in Costa Rica, you have sun. And how is the state of the taxes when it comes to income tax and also liquidating Bitcoin, selling Bitcoin?
So yeah, like anybody can come in and sign up with this SynPay thing through Bitcoin Jungle, and there's like no fees on that. You'll have to KYC if you go through over like certain threshold of money. Um, and then in terms of the taxes and whatnot, I'm the last guy in the world to ask for that, to be honest.
Okay.
But you're allowed to stay here for 6 months at a time, perpetual tourist. Um, and all you have to
Awesome.
do is just walk out and touch the border and come back if you want. But usually
Yeah.
there's some sort of a conference or something that'll drag you out of here.
Uh-huh. Okay, beautiful. So, and what is the threshold for taxes for KYC, if you know, or taxes?
I think it's around like 750 or something like that. USD.
750
Yeah.
USD? Oh,
For,
okay.
for,
The
for
threshold
using the
is very
Bitcoin
low,
jungle.
though.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay. And what's the story of Bitcoin Jungle? I'm
Yeah. So
interested to know.
we have a movie coming out called Hummingbird. You can follow along at primal.net/hummingbird. And that should
Definitely.
actually get released finally um, in a month during the Freedom Festival. And we're going to release it to the world. I'm really excited.
Great.
But Bitcoin Jungle started as in a local farmers market during COVID. So it started, at a local farmers market. It's like this all organic market in Dominical, Costa Rica. And the founder, knew the head of the market, Kana, and they bonded over some other things during the time they found they're like-minded during COVID. And they just onboarded everybody in the market because there were some people with Bitcoin that didn't always have cash, and nobody in the market accepted credit cards. So they started accepting Bitcoin. And they saw the little glimmer of hope that it could provide. The founders of the farmers market, they had banks like taken from them, like they have some fiat wounds, and our film will show way more about that. And since then, it's just like kind of grown organically. It went to the markets in Invita as well,
Amazing.
the farms, the market nearby, the town nearby, and now it's in like a bunch of the restaurants. And it's freaking amazing. It's just taken over. Everybody knows about Bitcoin down there, and the people working down there too. It's like there's no question. It's just like, oh yeah, accept Bitcoin, yeah, fine, yeah, easy. It's really cool.
Awesome.
Um,
So again, grassroots movement from the farmers themselves.
yeah,
Okay.
and
Could
then
you remind me the
a lot of work from Lee too, like actually cashing out and onboarding people, and the work with the app's insane too. It's super easy to create a point of sale and get going. And then now we even have an office for people to just come by and ask questions about self custody and everything. It's absolutely amazing. It's like this little piece of paradise is Bitcoin, like this slice of what's possible.